guys? It's Dominique, aka That Therapist. For those of you that don't know me, I am the lead clinician and CEO for a group practice known as Yellowbird Counseling. Well, what is that? What's the Yellowbird Counseling? What does that mean? Well, we provide our normal day-to-day activities include providing individual, family, couples, and group therapy in the state of Alabama, mainly in a few other states as well. So that's what we do day to day. But as far as on social media, our whole goal is to break the stigma that surrounds mental health and wellness by educating the general population on reasons that we could all use therapy outside of simply having a mental illness. And with this being BIPOC Mental Health Awareness Month, it's very important for us to highlight the stigma that Black people across the diaspora have as it relates to mental health. So, like I told y'all, we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of that today, okay? We got to understand how our mental health has been impacted even without us being consciously aware of it, right? There is a lot of unconscious trauma that we experience, or maybe it might not be unconscious, but we may have normalized a lot of the trauma that we experience in the Black community. So I definitely wanted us tonight to break down post-traumatic slave syndrome, okay? This is a qualitative and quantitative study done by Dr. Joy DeGruy over this span of 12 years, examining how the post-traumatic, PTSD, okay? I'm all over the place because I literally got out of my last session and jumped in here, and it was like, my sessions today weren't easy. They were a little bit more intense than usual. So sorry if I'm stumbling over my words and fumbling. Just kind of bear with me while I switch gears, because there does come a decompression period after session that usually I try to give myself, but I didn't have tonight because I ran over. So literally my brain is frozen on me. Sorry, PTSD, guys, but with the component of the effects of chattel slavery, okay, is where the theory of post-traumatic slave syndrome comes up. What does that mean? What is all that you're saying? Let's listen. Let's listen to Dr. Joy. She is a Black woman. Describe her longitudinal study in short. Okay. Where is it? I found a really good clip, and I will pause to explain some of the stuff, some of the jargon. She doesn't use a whole lot of jargon, but I still want to stop and explain it. Let me share it here for y'all. Over here. Okay, hold on. Post-traumatic stress disorder, y'all. Seriously, that just literally, I don't think y'all understand the brain power that goes into therapy. So when y'all think I be just haphazardly trying to assess people outside of my job, I'm not doing that. Not at all. Because it definitely takes a lot of mental energy to do therapy, guys. All right, so let's start this off. Y'all won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it, and that's okay. No, this isn't sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all, that's not the video. That's a video, but not the video. This video is only like 5 minutes. This one didn't have a whole intro. I had it queued and everything. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Why does this one have this weird intro music? And this one says part one. Wait a minute. I don't think this is the right video. No, okay, hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Cause I had it all queued up. What is happening? Hold on. Okay. My God. Let's see. Y'all just okay. I feel like it's this one. No, this is an hour long. It's not this one. The one that I saw was 5 minutes. Hold on. Maybe because I didn't search it this way initially. That shouldn't matter, but whatever. I'm looking for the 5-minute video, not the doggone. Okay, here it is. Found it. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. Let me share now. Sorry, guys. Okay. Now, what the fuck, man? I just clicked play. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go.
Slave syndrome. How many of you are familiar with post-traumatic stress disorder?
Okay, so how many of you? All right, post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, for those of you that aren't aware, this is a brief overview because I've already done a post-traumatic stress disorder video. But post-traumatic stress disorder is, in short, is a one-time incident that causes post-trauma. Okay, like that's a post-trauma that like lasting trauma comes afterwards, after the event occurs. Okay, that's the easiest way for me to explain it without breaking the whole thing down. Okay, but basically just think of something that happens to you and the effects of it last long after the event. Okay, broken down as easy as I can make it.
Chattel slavery. We're not talking about one trauma. We're not talking about.
I know some of y'all don't know what chattel slavery is. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about you. I'm just gonna explain it. Okay, it was the type of slavery that Black people across the diaspora were subjected to. It wasn't indentured servitude where you had some sort of contractual obligation to work. It was the buying and selling like cattle of Black people across the diaspora. Okay, we were bought and sold like objects. We were great. We were beaten. We were displaced from our families, taken against our will. forced to work without pay. So that is, in short, chattel slavery, okay?
About a specific event. We're talking about generations of trauma with no intervention. Based on what I know about sugar plantations, tobacco, and the Caribbean, what I know about American chattel slavery and the plantations there, does anyone right now ever recall mental health assistance to slaves? Anybody remember?
That's an important question. What Dr. Joy is highlighting is the fact that we endured as a people the dehumanization and abuse of colonization and chattel slavery without any interventive measures put in place or offered to us. No mental health treatment, no medical treatment, none of that. We were just expected to go on living, all right, with the effects of being dehumanized, beaten, bought, and sold over centuries.
Remember sending in the therapist after I sold off your son, daughter, raped folks, at any point? Never. Second question. After slavery was officially over, now you're free. Anybody remember any therapy then? We know it's been rough, it's been deep for you, it's been difficult. We're going to do a little group therapy. Anybody remember that? That would be no. Number 3, after slavery officially ended, both in the States, in the Caribbean, the British, do you remember whether or not trauma continued? Did the trauma continue for people of African descent? I need to know. Okay, so now let's do the math. Hundreds of years of trauma, no treatment. Freed, more trauma, no treatment. What do you do the math? Do you think there may be residual impacts of that trauma? Of course there is. It didn't end, friends, and it hasn't ended yet. So I think on one point, African people and people of African descent are extremely resilient. Matter of fact, I think we're a miracle.
I don't want that to go overlooked. Black people as a species have not only been forced to endure centuries of dehumanization that has been passed down generationally through our nature and our nurture, right? With no interventive treatment to help us gather ourselves after such what do y'all like to say, diabolical treatment, right? And still we go on, still we continue on. So I want us to explain, or I want us to understand what we have been subjected to and what we are still continuing to be expected to do on top of that. Does that make sense? Are y'all following? Let's continue.
Far be it for us to pathologize or to look and cast this idea of weak and sick people. Oh, on the contrary, I'm profoundly resilient because we've done everything we've done thus far with no help, with not even the ability to have this discussion. As though it were possible, we escaped injury in all those hundreds of years and the years that follow. So this kind of journey I'm going to take you on is going to be one that really gives a perspective on what this trauma was, what it looks like, and clinically, what is post-traumatic stress disorder? What does it look like? Let me give you a little snapshot. We'll get into it in more depth a little later. But post-traumatic stress disorder, if in fact you are diagnosed with that, again, remember, direct or indirect trauma, here are some of the symptoms. A feeling of foreshortened future.
A feeling of foreshortened future. That's this ideation that your life is a lot shorter than you would expect. that your life will be much shorter than it should be or than what you can expect.
Now, what does that mean?
That is a byproduct of PTSD.
Feeling, well, you're not going to live long. How many of you are running into young people that don't believe they're going to make it past their 20s? Feeling of foreshortened future, exaggerated startle response, outbursts of anger, difficult.
I want y'all to listen. Exaggerated startle responses. Okay? Lack of emotional regulation. I'm sure that you guys have seen these things maybe present in yourselves or maybe in the other Black folk around you generally, right?
Difficulty falling or staying asleep. Hypervigilance.
Let me rewind it just a little bit so y'all can catch those symptoms again, okay? She starts naming them off kind of fast.
Right? These are symptoms of shortened future. Now, what does that mean? A feeling, well, you're not going to live long. How many of you are running into young people that don't believe they're going to make it past their 20s? Feeling of foreshortened future, exaggerated startle response, outbursts of anger, difficulty falling or staying asleep, hypervigilance, right? These are symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. This is like DSM stuff, Diagnostic Statistical Manual Mental Disorders. It's in there. And there's a whole listing of all these symptoms. Now I want to roll it back so you can understand what the transmission theory is, because I'm going to talk about transmission. So how does a person that's...
She's getting a bit clinical, but basically she said exaggerated startle responses, outburst of anger, hypervigilance, inability to fall asleep or stay asleep. Those are all... And hypervigilance means that you're extraordinarily aware and careful. We'll just say that. We'll just say that to make it simple. All right. Like you are overly, maybe overly whatever, fill in the blank. So a hypervigilance and awareness to your surroundings, and the environments that you're in the relationships that you're in. These are areas where we could see these symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Now let's couple them with the component of the lasting effects of chattel slavery. Okay?
That's been traumatized by post-traumatic, literally has a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder. And can we, if we are logical and we are reasonable people, assume that a fair number of Africans had to have had post-traumatic stress disorder? You think? I'm not talking about us, I'm talking about them.
How many Africans do y'all think like that were like that? The initial subjects of chattel slavery, and then those generations of Black folk after them before we were quote unquote freed. How many of those of our ancestors do you think dealt with post-traumatic stress disorder based on what all they had to go through? Fair question.
Untreated though, right? Okay, so now let's do the math. Mom who saw dad sold or sister raped has post-traumatic stress disorder. Still mom though, right? Only mom now has...
She's explaining how it becomes a generational trauma. She's explaining that right now, how the trauma is passed down through the lineage.
Outbursts of anger, feeling of foreshortened future, difficulty falling or staying asleep, hypervigilance. That would be mom. Now, Johnny or Mary or Shaquisha did not have the original trauma. But what are they learning? This is called social learning theory. What am I normalizing? Exaggerated startle response, outbursts of anger. Are you following me?
So what she's basically saying, guys, is mom back then, due to the post-traumatic stress disorder that our ancestors endured, bringing it back into the home, the examples of that would be mom showing exaggerated startle responses, outbursts of anger, hypervigilance, unable to fall or stay asleep. Mom is experiencing those symptoms. And so those symptoms are displayed to the child. So what does the child then pick up on? Hypervigilance, outburst of anger, right? Difficulty with sleep. The other one she said, y'all, my brain is like jelly. I'm struggling. So that essentially, you get the point though. Those behaviors are learned behaviors that have been passed down and normalized. And then we have to add the physical component. When you have just thinking about present day adverse childhood experiences that affect cardiovascular functioning, that affect coronary functioning, that affect hypertension, that affect different, like make us more more of a proclivity to like high cholesterol, more of a proclivity to substance abuse, because of the trauma that was endured and then passed down. Okay, and recreated and perpetuated is the point. Basically, post-traumatic slave disorder is the perpetuation of the symptoms that were initially caused by chattel slavery, which are the symptoms that we outlined: hypervigilance, outburst of anger, right? Difficulty being able to sleep, and so on.
So I didn't have to be traumatized. Now, the other thing is, do you think Johnny and Mary got traumatized too? Do you see? So what happens in your environment, you learn from the significant others in your environment. And if they're broken, guess what you're going to be? You're learning from broken people. And you're normalizing that behavior. And then it becomes, years later, 2008, that's their culture.
I love that. I love that video, that short snippet. Now, the post-traumatic slave disorder, post-traumatic slave syndrome study is actually a book done by Dr. Joy DeGruy that took place over 12 years. Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about the specifics of the study. Very generally, y'all. I'm not going to bore y'all with the nerdy stuff, right? I'm not, because I could really get into it, but I realize that I'm talking to non-clinicians. So I'm just trying to make this digestible for you, okay? I'm not going to try to use all the clinical jargon, because that's just going to make some people's eyes roll back. So let's skip all that, okay? So, hold on, let me share this with y'all so y'all can see this. This is actually Dr. Joy DeGruy's website that outlines her study and her findings. And this is still a theory, okay? It's still a theory, but without it being completely proven, right, we could err on the side of other empirical evidence that we have in regards to the diagnosis of PTSD. We can say that she got a strong theory, okay? All right. So, again, the theory of post-traumatic slave syndrome is a result of 12 years of qualitative and quantitative research done by Dr. Joy DeGruy. Develop, let's see, let me skip all that because that's basically what I just said. The book, for any of you that are interested, and there's 2 versions of it, but Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing, okay? The book addresses the residual impacts of generations of slavery and opens the discussion on how the Black community can use the strengths we have developed in the past to heal in the present. So basically, in short, that is what the goal is. How can we use the injuries that we've endured in the past to bring about healing in the present, which is very difficult. We have so much maladaptive behavior ingrained in our community, our culture, as a result of chattel slavery, something that we didn't even ask for. So for you to think as a Black person that you're walking around this earth without experiencing any generational trauma, you're tap dancing on delusion. We don't want to tap dance on delusion, do we? I don't want that for us. I want us to be well informed and know that we're not above the impact of chattel slavery. And because of that alone, all Black people need therapy, right? Whether you experience trauma present day or not, cultural ideologies that we normalize that are maladaptive and as a result of slavery are still things that are still behaviors that we're engaging in, right? Let's continue. Let me look at some questions first. I've been going a little while. Do y'all have any questions before we continue? Y'all be sure to share. Okay? Share with your nerdy cousins, right? Yes, the strong Black woman schema. We talked about that. Remember when I had one of the interns come on and talk about the strong Black woman schema? That's a direct result of chattel slavery, right? Right? Y'all learn y'all something today. We'll be back on the messy and educational and messy on Saturday. But today is strictly education. I told them the fuck is that, all right? So go ahead and tap that screen up. Remember, I am going to be doing a giveaway. I don't want to tell them, but I'm going to be doing it. So if y'all want it to be open and not just for subscribers, get to working on the gift goal. Otherwise, it's going to be sub only. All right. Cool. Let's see what kind of questions. Yay, I'm glad. I'm glad y'all are. I'm glad. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. Let me see. I was trying to see if I had any questions. Do y'all have any questions thus far? Aw. Thanks, Nay Baby, for being so encouraging. Thank you for the lemonade, buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you. Y'all help her out now. It looks like we trying to unlock that. I can't tell them we're on other platforms. Y'all know the secret, right? So y'all better help out. Thank you. Thank you so much. The Real Show? Wow. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Miss Michelle. Thank y'all. They trying to unlock this. Y'all better help them unlock it for y'all. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Work on that goal. Go ahead and work on that so we can make it open to everybody. Okay? All right. All right. No questions. Let us proceed forward. Wait, hold on. Do you think the older people that are hoarders want to keep everything because of what they went through? That's a really, really good question, right? Well, what we do know about hoarding is that it is a symptom actually of OCD, right? Hoarding is actually a type of OCD. And y'all are probably like, what? That doesn't even make sense. I thought you were a clean freak if you were dealing with obsessive compulsive disorder, but that's just OCD can present in different ways. But with it falling under the anxiety and stress disorder umbrella, I'm sure that it's not too far off. So that's a really good question. Yep. Wait, how do I win? So listen, so non-subscribers, the way that I can open it up to all of y'all is if we meet the gift goal. If we don't meet the gift goal, then it's going to be a sub only giveaway. Okay? Right? So that's how y'all work together so that everybody can have the opportunity and not just subs to win. Okay? So that's how you do that. So if you're not a subscriber, you might want to give a lemonade buddy if you want to have the opportunity to win. Okay. All right, let's continue. Let me look over here. Did y'all have questions? Could the shortened lifespan syndrome be connected to what seems like a cultural disregard for life with our youth? That is, y'all are asking such good questions. I wish my brain was working because I usually am on it. Yes, the cultural disregard for life, but what is the origin of that? Right? What is the general origin of that? That was the one I was missing when I was naming off the symptoms. But the expectation that we will have quote unquote long life generally is, there's a lot more people feeling like they're not going to make it to early ages, like through their 20s, through their 30s, right? In our culture. So, I think that's a portion of it. Good question, Rob TR. You're welcome. Welcome. All right, let's go through it. Let me break it down a little more past the video for us. So, what is post-traumatic slave disorder? Okay. Again, it's a theory that explains the iteology of many of the adaptive survival behaviors. Okay, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of it. These behaviors that we engage in are largely survival behaviors. And if you know anything about survival, that is not a state that we as human beings are meant to stay in for a prolonged period of time. So years, days, weeks, months, years, decades, centuries of survival state. Imagine how impactful that could be on not only our physical growth and development as a people, but also our mental health and development as a people, right? So, adaptive survival behaviors in African American communities throughout the United States. All right, throughout the United States and the diaspora. It is the condition that exists as a consequence of multi-generational oppression of Africans and their descendants, resulting from centuries of chattel slavery, a form of slavery which was predicated on the belief that African Americans were inherently / genetically inferior to YTs. This was then followed by institutionalized racism, which continues to perpetuate injury. The resulting is what's known as the acronym MAP. So what is that? The M is multi-generational trauma together with continued oppression. So past and present day trauma that us as Black people are being subjected to. Absence of opportunity to heal or access the benefits available in society, leading to post-traumatic slave syndrome. So the components of post-traumatic slave syndrome are generational trauma coupled with continued present day oppression without the opportunity to engage in resources that would lead to recovery and healing. Does that make sense to y'all? Does that make sense to y'all? So under these circumstances, dealing with past generational trauma and present, past generational trauma, okay, present day oppression that we still experience as Black people, without the presence of mental health resources. So if that's you, right? If you are a Black person who is dealing with the effects of chattel slavery, thank you, and is still enduring the present day oppression, and you have not engaged in any therapeutic resources, you, my friend, are dealing with post-traumatic slave syndrome, okay? Let's talk about some of the patterns of behavior related to post-traumatic slave syndrome. So listen up to see if any of these behaviors are something that you might see in yourself or your loved ones around you, okay? Vacant esteem, insufficient development of what Dr. Joy or Dr. DeGrue refers to as primary esteem, along with feelings of hopelessness, depression, and general self-destructive outlook. So that that underlying negativity, right? That underlying self-loathing, that underlying limiting beliefs that we as Black people engage in for ourselves or for people around us, the negativeness. Y'all can see it. Y'all see it every day in 4K on freaking Messy Talk. Vacant esteem, the displays of vacant esteem across Messy Talk. Baby, you can find an example of it at least once a day, every single day. All right? That's for all of us, though. I'm not pointing fingers because I'm Black too, right? Marked propensity for anger and violence, extreme feelings of suspicion. This is where we were talking about that hypervigilance, right? We're circling back to the hypervigilance component. extreme feelings of suspicion, perceived negative motivations of others. Now let's be real with ourselves. We be suspicious. We some suspicious folk, right? Yay or nay? Us as Black people are some suspicious folk, and we probably are going to generally err on the side of something being negatively motivated than maybe a mistake, or even positively motivated, or not even a clear motivation at all, just a result of an action. But we gonna be quick to think that anything wrong that happens to us by others is negatively motivated, or we're going to be looking out for people to not mean us no good, right? That is a symptom of post-traumatic slave syndrome. I know y'all not going to sit up in here and talk and say, I don't know what you're talking about, that therapist. I'm not suspicious. I welcome people with open arms, innocent until proven guilty, always. And when someone wrongs me, I don't think it's a mistake that can be, I think it's a mistake that can be worked out. I don't think that they intentionally meant me any harm. Now, come on, y'all. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Y'all share with the other therapists on the app, by the way. The ones that were talking about me on Sunday, share with them. Let them know this is the kind of content that I really be doing on a weekly basis and have been for 5 years. Thank you. All right. All right. So, marked propensity for anger and violence, extreme feelings of suspicion, perceived negative motivation of others, violence against self, property, and others, including members of one's own group, friends, relatives, and acquaintances. Whoa, now we getting into the family. But see, that's difficult for us because we've grown up thinking that we owe our family something just because they're our family. But the perpetuation of this behavior often happens with our closest surroundings. So ourself, property, and others, including members of one's own group, friends, relatives, and acquaintances. Racial socialization. Internalized racism is another way. Another symptom of post-traumatic slave syndrome. Let's talk about this internalized racism that we all experience because we're all a product of ancestral trauma and present-day oppression. Let's talk about it. Without resources, right? The perpetuation of enduring this behavior without resources is by definition post-traumatic slave syndrome. Now I'm going over the symptoms in more detail, okay? Learned helplessness, literacy deprivation, distorted self-concept, antipathy or aversion for the following. The members of one's own identified cultural group. So these are who would endure this socialized or internalized racism. The members of one's own identified cultural group, the mores and customs associated with one's identified cultural heritage, the physical characteristics of one own's identified cultural group. So featureism, texturism, colorism, right? When we talk about, y'all be talking about my nose. People love, that's the easiest thing. That's the easiest thing. Featureism. You're engaging in symptoms of post-traumatic slave syndrome. When you engage in featureism, colorism, texturism, microaggressive language, macroaggressive language, right? So the book Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome incorporates Dr. Joy's research in both America and Africa, as well as 12 years of experience in as a social work practitioner and consultant for public and private organizations. Dr. DeGroot first exposes the reader to the conditions that led to Atlantic slave trade and allow the racism and efforts at repression to continue through present day. She then looks at seemingly insurmountable obstacles that African Americans face as a result of slave trade. Next, she discusses the adaptive behaviors we develop, both positive and negative, that allow us to survive and often even thrive. Dr. DeGroot concludes by reevaluating those adaptive behaviors that have been passed down through generations where appropriate. She exposes replacing behaviors which are today maladaptive with ones that will promote and sustain the healing and ensure the advancement of African American culture. What is that? So, she talks about how we can replace some of these maladaptive behaviors that we've engaged in, such as internalized racist socialization, internalized racism, which is violence against our own culture by way of colorism, featureism, texturism, and the like. Okay. Just a general self-loathing and talking, just how we, degrade each other and ourselves with our language. And then our suspicious feelings and thinking that people, what motivates people towards us is harmful motivation, like that being the thing that we jump to first, right? So, what kind of questions do you have? I'm sorry, y'all. As far as my cognitive functioning, I know it's a bit slow. I feel it. But again, I had a lot of trauma that I had to help clients unpack today. So my brain is shutting down. Let's see what kind of questions y'all have. How many times have those suspicions been wrong? Well, it depends. If we're talking about in regards to YT people, probably not much. Probably not much. They haven't been wrong much. Probably not much, Rob TR. Great question. But with the internalized racism, we transfer that suspicion inward, like towards our own community, right? Which, again, with the maladaptive behaviors that have been passed down in our older generations of people still wanting to hold onto those behaviors as cultural norm and teaching us that those are cultural norm, I think that's the barrier for healing one of the barriers, one of the internalized barriers that I think take place across the diaspora. Does that answer your question? Let me see. Yeah, we're hypersensitive and we have reason to be, right? We have reason to be hypersensitive. But when it poses as a barrier for healthy interactions within our own culture and our own progression as a people, that's when the shit starts getting to be concerning, right? If you notice, the symptoms of post-traumatic slave disorder are talking more inward or more self, more community related, not how we respond to them as YT people, because our hypervigilance for them is warranted because they do racist stuff without even realizing that they're being racist when they're doing it. So if they aren't willing to examine their own white fragility, white rage, privilege, then they're going to continue to be harmful because they're going to continue to engage in the behaviors that are inherently ingrained in them. Y'all get me? Do y'all get my drift? Do y'all get my drift? Half the time they might know, but the other half, I don't think they be knowing. One of my clients told me about a very racist encounter that she had with a YT woman who was actually trying not to be racist. And in her attempt not to be racist, she actually was presenting more racist behavior. I'm just like, makes me upset. All right. Let's see. I wanted to see if there was something else. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about it. Let's give a little bit more detail about post-traumatic slave syndrome, okay? So as Dr. DeGroot mentioned, post-traumatic slave syndrome has similarities to more widely known diagnosis or to the more widely known diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder. Similar signs of the two include, here we're going to draw the intersection between post-traumatic slave syndrome and post-traumatic stress disorder. Avoiding certain places, people, or activities and events that remind the individual of the trauma or experience. Difficulty concentrating, feeling jumpy, or being easily angered. Appearing emotionally numb, also called vacant esteem. This includes feelings of hopelessness, depression, and a general self-destructive outlook. Again, we see that frequently on Messy Talk. An aspect specific to post-traumatic slave syndrome is racial socialization and internalized racism. Okay, that's the biggest part, like our own self-loathing and degrading ourselves based on our own racial attributes, such as our skin color, our features, the texture of our hair. When we start talking down on those things, we're engaging in the symptom. All right. I hope y'all are hearing me. This includes direct and indirect messages children receive about racism and the meaning of race. Some of y'all may be familiar with the doll study. Children recognize themselves as inferior or superior based on the color of their skin very early on. Those children in the doll study were maybe like 5 or 6 years old. If you're not familiar with the doll study, what it was is they placed a white doll and a black doll, but before white and black kids, and asked the children which dolls they prefer. And both groups of children, white and black, preferred the white doll. And when asked why, they told why the white doll was better than the black doll. And it was because of the features that the white doll had. As early as 5. So think of us now in our 20s and 30s, 40s, and 50s, how long we've been thinking that we are less than, because culturally and societally, we've been reared that way. Okay? So if that's what we think inherently, don't you think if you think you're less than because of the color of your skin, or your features, or the texture of your hair, or you think someone else is less than because of their color of their skin, their features, or the texture of their hair, you don't think that's a reason to go to therapy? I'll wait. Unfortunately, when it comes to seeking medical or mental health assistance, African Americans are often suspicious of the care they will receive. Therefore, they may only go to the doctor as a last resort. How sad is that, guys? This further makes my point, y'all, that there are only 4% of professionals in this field that look like you. So y'all need to back up off us when we're trying to help you and don't mean you any harm, right? Stop trying to find reasons to be messy and jeopardize the therapist's livelihood with your hurt feelings. Because there's only 4% of us out here, and there's 13% of Black folks in the US. Do you already see how the math don't math? You need somebody who looks like you to understand the struggle historically that you have been through and the present day oppression that you still endure. So to try to wipe someone out who's trying to help you doesn't seem like a smooth move at all, does it? Do that seem like a smooth move to y'all? Again, I'll wait. Historically, African Americans were mistreated at the hands of the medical profession, including being used as test subjects. Treatment has been based upon the belief that Black people are strong and do not need health care, or that Black people have higher rates of schizophrenia than white people or other ethnicities, which is not true. People have been misdiagnosed. But medical apartheid is also a thing, okay? Again, that's why it's imperative that there are professionals that look like you, right? Because it's a lot harder to trust our YT counterparts that know nothing about our existence. Okay? What kind of questions do we have? Do y'all catch what I'm throwing? Loud and clear. Perfect. 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 Let me see over here. What kind of questions do y'all have? No questions? I wanted to share some of this, but I think that y'all get the key points. And then next week we can talk about some of what Dr. Joy DeGruy says we can replace those behaviors with, right? Because there is that component, but I didn't want to take away from the fact that the very behaviors that we engage in, even on social media, that seem normal or harmless or cool or cute, are actually not. They're actually symptoms of post-traumatic slave syndrome. And I just want y'all to know that. I really want y'all to that point to be driven home. So while y'all talking about how you don't need therapy, I just laid it out why you do. Right? Why all of us do. Right? I made it. Yay. Not I made it. Yay. Whew. What are y'all thinking? How y'all feeling? All right. You're welcome. I'm glad y'all got it. And like I said, next week we'll talk about some of those those positive behaviors that Dr. Joy says that we can put in place or try to actively put in place. But again, that would have to come with the assistance of therapy because we do things so unconsciously that I can point it out to you, but because it's so ingrained, you probably gonna do it again tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go over it, but at the end of the day, the point is we all need therapy. That's the point. So my lives normally happen, y'all. My mental health lives, these lives are at 8 p.m. Central Standard, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. Mountain. That's when we do these lives every Thursday evening. And these are the kind of topics that we present to make mental health something that everyone can relate to and not just people who have a mental illness, right? Because a lot of the stigma in our community is that something has to be quote unquote wrong with you in order for you to go see a therapist, or something has to be, you had to be crazy, or you had to have a mental illness, and that's not true. Trauma is something that we have all experienced, and trauma in and of itself is a reason that we all need therapy. Does that make sense? Yep. I love that. That's why I love the book too, because it does give that insight. I just was like, how can I really just give like digestible pieces of the research to people who haven't read the book and probably won't read it? Right. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. I'll give you the whole name of the book again. Post-traumatic slave syndrome, America's legacy of enduring injury and healing. If y'all want to see. Let me show y'all. Mr. Carter, stop licking your feet. Hold on, let me share the screen so you can see the book. And I'll turn this around so y'all can also see the book. Okay, so if you need to take your pictures, take your screenshots, go ahead. Okay. Get your screenshots. Let me move this. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Perfect. You're welcome. See, a lot of y'all hadn't heard of it. So happy Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, where my job is to bring you awareness about your own BIPOC mental health concerns. That's the goal this month, okay? That's the goal. That's the goal. Perfect. Glad you added it to your cart. Yep. Perfect. How y'all doing? Y'all doing okay? Y'all doing all right? Perfect. Okay, good. Good. So, y'all know what it's time for at this point. It's time for our Cash App giveaway. Yeah. Perfect. What better way to add some excitement to, mental health, Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, or BIPOC Mental Health Awareness Month, than to give out some funds, some coin, some hundos. All right, so hold on, y'all. I didn't get my writing resources. Where's Malika? I gotta get my handy dandy notebook. Whew, I couldn't read, couldn't write. Baby, couldn't do nothing. Like, imagine your brain being stuck and you're like looking at a word, you know what the word is, but you can't make the word be words, right? Huey. Okay. All right. So let me get things ready. Doesn't look like we met our gift goal, which is okay. Totally fine. So we'll just turn this to sub-only comments. All right. The number I see is 85. Subscribers, go ahead and drop your Cash App in the comments. Okay? Go ahead and drop your Cash App in the comments. And only once, y'all. Only once. If it filters it, it's fine. I see it. You don't got to put it more than once. If it filters it, I see it, I will unfilter it, okay? But don't put it more than once because it'll take forever for me to count. Okay? So, only once. If it filters it, let it ride. I promise I'll see it, and I promise I'll ask that everybody get a number before I proceed. So just put your Cash App in the comments one time. And if it filters it, that's okay. I will unfilter it as I scroll through. Okay? Hey, IG, how y'all doing? Y'all doing good? All right, so this is the way it works. I will say your number, your name and your number 2 times. If I mess it up, I will say it a 3rd time, okay? I will say your name and your number 2 times. And if I mess it up, I will say it a 3rd time, all right? I'm going to start over here. Let me start over here. Tanea Keller, number 1. Tanea Keller, number 1. Danielle Robinson, number 2. Danielle Robinson, number 2. Rob TR, number 3. Rob TR, number 3. K Candles, number 4. K Candles, number 4. Persephone, number 5. Persephone, number 5. Hey, Persephone, long time no see. Candace Keller, number 6. Candace Keller, number 6. Oh, come on. Toya Betts, number 7. Toya Betts, number 7. Antoinette Danielle, number 8. Antoinette Danielle, number 8. Malika Cole, number 9. Malika Cole, number 9. Every day, number 10. Every day, number 10. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to start over here. Please note, last minute attendees will not be added. Yeah, we're stopping at 85. Isn't that what I said? I think I said we're stopping at 85. All right. So over here. All right. IFKA 24, number 11. IFKA 24, number 11. Moonshine, number 12. Moonshine, number 12. Comedy Girl, number 13. Comedy Girl, number 13. Big Moderator Page, number 14. Big Moderator Page, number 14. Miss Libra, number 15. Miss Libra, number 15. Leeka, Leeka Leeka, number 16. Leeka Leeka, number 16, because we got 2 Leekas. Queen Lioness, number 17. Queen Lioness, number 17. Kayo, number 18. Kayo, number 18. Veronica, number 19. Veronica, number 19. Snuggle Bunny, number 20. Snuggle Bunny, number 20. Maya, number 21. Maya, number 21. Nene, number 22. Nene, number 22. Big Moderator Danielle, number 23. Big Moderator Danielle, number 23. Naomi, number 24. Naomi, number 24. Big Moderator Mama Nee, number 25. Big Moderator Mama Nee, number 25. Trish, 38. Trish 38, number 26. Trish 38, number 26. Better for Days, number 27. Better for Days, number 27. Lika Lika, number 28. Lika Lika, number 28. Lika Lika, number 28. Jessica Aria, number 29. Jessica Aria, number 29. Eden's Closet NY, number 30. Eden's Closet NY, number 30. Wait a minute. Big Moderator Love 10, number 31. Big Moderator Love 10, number 31. My Dimples, number 32. My Dimples, number 32. Harmony, number 33. Harmony, number 33. I already got Eden's Closet. I already got my Dimples. Is that it? I think that's it. Is there anybody that did not get a number? Is there a subscriber in here that... Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, Miss Crochet Jig. Let's see. 34. Miss Crochet Jig, you're number 34, okay? Number 34. All right. Sandra Creamer, number 35. Sandra Creamer, number 35. Shell, number 36. Shell, number 36. I'll give you one this time, AB, because you do be here. AB, number 37. AB, number 37. ID Bougie, number 38. ID Bougie, number 38. My moms be wanting y'all to be here during the educational portion, y'all, because it was good. Wasn't it good? Mama Me. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Mama Me is 39. Mama Me is number 39. It's Bree, number 40. It's Bree, number 40. Pincus, number 41. Pincus, number 41. Felicia, number 42. Felicia, number 42. All right. Okay. I think that's it. Yep, I think that's it. I think, has that everybody who was here? If you were here and didn't get a number, just put your Cash App. Don't say me. If you're here and if you had been here and didn't get a number, just put your Cash App in the comments. If you were here and didn't get a number, just put your Cash App in the comments. If you're here and did not get a number, just put your Cash App in the comments. If you were like, nope, I wasn't here, I just jumped in to get the money. I'm telling y'all when the next giveaway is going to be, y'all. So turn on your notifications so you don't miss miss me, and find you a friend so that they can share it to you. So you can say, make sure you share it to me, okay? All right, everybody got a number. All right. Everybody got their number. Let's proceed. And remember, Saturday, y'all. Saturday, if we get to our goal, our subscription goal of 280 subscribers, I'm going to add $200 more on top of the $100 I was going to already give away Saturday, for a total of $300. So if we all work together, those of you that want to send subscriptions, those of you that have expiring subscriptions that want to extend your subscription, and those of you that are just wanting to come for the first time, let me explain to you the subscription perks. Of course, the Cash App giveaways, of course, the sub-only lives, and then you'll always be able to comment, of course. But if you get a basic or standard subscription, you also have access to our Discord. You have custom badge access. You have custom emote access. Can y'all that have basic or standard subscriptions drop those custom emotes in the chat, please, so that they can see what those are? Also, I prioritize your DMs. Like if you want to DM me, reach out to me, then you can. I'll prioritize basic and standard subscribers. If you're a standard subscriber, when I do the Cash App giveaways and you want me to send your money through like Zelle or PayPal, you have that option with the standard subscription. So if any of the subscription perks sound good to you, go on ahead and hit that subscription star, send some subscriptions, or extend your subscription so that we can get to our 280 subscriber goal. And we can get a $300 Cash App giveaway, right? Okay, so on this coming Saturday, because that's my next scheduled live day. I'm trying to go live for y'all on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. For y'all, it's just Saturdays. Thursdays. For y'all, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Okay. All righty, let us see. Let me get set up. Let me pull it up so everybody can see together, so nobody thinks there's favorites. Let's see. All right, let me turn the camera around. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I was like, huh? All right. Actually, before I flip the camera for y'all, because I don't want y'all looking at my nails. I feel self-conscious. Random number wheel generator. Because they look terrible. I need to go get them done tomorrow. I just was lazy because it was raining last weekend, so I didn't go get my nails done. And now they are just really, ugh. Thank you. 2. We got 42. Okay, I'm going to put it on here. Okay. All right. Y'all see? All right. All right, y'all. Drum roll, please. Oh my God, number 35. Who's number 35? Oh my God. You won. Y'all drop congratulations. Congratulations for number 35. Who was it? Who was it? Who was it? Who's number 35? I hope they're in here and I don't have to spin again. Who is it? Who's number 35? Oh, yay! Sandra Creamer. Sandra, is this your second time to win? Is this your second time to win, Sandra? Is it? I feel like you won before. You had won before? I thought you did. Okay, well, congratulations. Sandra won $150. All right, y'all. Thank you. Hold on. Let me get the Cash App sent. Hold on. We got a way that we do things here. So don't be no mishaps, right? We don't want no mishaps. Oh, wow. We also got some people that donated. So I got to take that off of the Cash App goal as well because we got people who have donated, which is also really good. So I just saw that. For those of you that don't know, I'll explain the donation. But for those of you that don't know, I do have an internship program where, hold on, because I don't want to be talking and mistype. And then Sandra don't get it, somebody else get it. We don't want all that. Let me see if am I spelling it right? Can y'all repin? Okay, let me repin it for myself. Okay, I didn't put the S. See there? Creamer 99. Why ain't it coming up? Hold on, Sandra, for some reason. Am I spelling? Why can't we find it? I'm spelling it right, and it's not coming up. Huh. What the hell? Oh, okay. Because I was like, huh? I was like, what the? All right, found it. Whew, I was like, what is that? Okay. Congratulations from. That's why we do things slow. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Congratulations from Yellowbird Counseling. All right, let's see. All right, it's sent. It's sent. Tell us when you got it. Let us know when you got it, okay? Let us know when you got it. We got to take $14 off of this. Thank y'all for the people who donated. Let me see. Did they say they wanted to be shouted out? Let me see, y'all. Okay. These are like real names on here, so I don't want to say them, but thank you. Thank you. So let me take off. So this is Let me explain to y'all what it's for. Did you get it, Sandra? Let us know that you got it. Yay! Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Perfect, perfect. Perfect. They said congratulations on the other. Dang, man. I left my doggone Instagram off too long. Jeez. Okay, it's okay. So yeah, but anyways, with this donation, what this Cash App up here is for is not for me. All right. It's for us to raise session donations for the people that see our interns, because the way that I'm able to service the community is by, yes, thank y'all all for coming and participating. Did y'all like it? Did y'all like the content that you got? Did you like the content that you got in tonight's live? Let me know in the comments. But the way that I'm able to service the community and help graduate students across the state with their clinical hours is allow our interns to service our low income, unhoused, or people in difficult financial situations. So these people are receiving free therapy for over a year. But the dilemma comes when the interns graduate and then they have to be paid for their sessions post graduation. And their clients have built rapport with them, want to stay with them, but may not yet be able to afford their sessions with them. So we're collecting session donations. I'm trying to get as many as I can by the end of August so that people can maintain their mental health treatment. And the interns can help them work on, what ways is their mental health coming in, posing as a barrier for their financial freedom. And they work with them on those things so that they can work to being able to pay for their own sessions. So far, we've raised money for 8 sessions. If we knock this goal out tonight, y'all, that'll be 10 sessions that we've raised money for. So if you have $2, $3, $5, $10, $15, to donate to help somebody maintain their mental health and wellness, all you got to do is put 4 session donation in the for portion of the Cash App. And if you want it to be anonymous, like if you want to give without people knowing that you did give, just put 4 session donation anonymous, and I won't mention your name. The easiest way to do the donation is click on my profile up here. Click on my link tree in my bio and click on the donate a session Cash App. Excuse me. That way, all you have to do is put the amount you want to donate in the Cash App portion and click send instead of trying to type it all out here. If you want to type it out, you can, but the easiest way would be just click my profile, click my link tree, and click on the donate a session Cash App link, the very first link on my link tree, and put whatever amount that you are able to give and that's laid on your heart to give. And I appreciate any donation. No donation is too small. So let's see. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you. See there, we're already knocking it out. We're knocking it out. So if we can knock this out, this will be great. Y'all can do the same thing if you want to donate a session or donate any portion. You can click on the link tree in the bio on here, and you can put any amount to contribute to our internship program. Yay! Perfect. Look, y'all, we're knocking this out. If we get this knocked out, we'll have 10 sessions paid for, and that'll be great. Okay, look, if we all help, we can all get it down. If we all do what we can all work to get it down. Thank you. All right. I will see y'all later next Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. Mountain. Y'all be safe.